Hey. You guys, that was my fault. You know that was totally my fault. So I'm going to go ahead and say, ask your questions again. For anybody that is just popping on here and did not see the last video where I did indeed kick a cable and get rid of myself, um, uh, go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you always know when we are doing things. Make sure that you ask your questions on here. I'm so sorry if you have to ask your question again and it was in the previous chat. Please ask it again because I cannot see that chat anymore. Also, I am going to be choosing a winner for tonight based on the questions. I'm going to let you guys know who won at the end, okay? So write it in here?
Yeah, you did it in the last one.
Okay. Ask your questions again. Someone will win. Ask a question to qualify. There we go. All right. So Hannah was asking the question before about the courses and which one to take and so on. And if you want to know about the courses, just go in the last video because I kind of went through them there, and I don't want to go over that again. It took a little bit of time, but Go for Gold is the first one, or 20 and 30. Some people are starting with 20 and 30 to be able to just kaboom really quick and then head into Go for Gold. It's really up to you. It's not going to hurt you any way that you slice it. Growth is growth, you guys. If you're pushing the needle on your business, you're pushing the needle on your business. Because 20 and 30 is going on right now, if you get in before February 1st, and right now it's 2020, so if you get in before February 1st, then you're going to qualify to win $500. One person is going to win $500 by the end of the month. It's going to be the person that gets the most signups. You guys, it's anybody's game. I disqualified myself. I can't win, okay? So it is anybody's game. People are learning new things about themselves every single day. People are realizing their Royal Crown Diamond nests every single day. I'm seeing the lights go off, right? Like that's or the lights turn on, where people are like, oh, like that's a daily occurrence in there. So this is the kind of stuff, this is growth. This is what growth looks like, okay? So prepare yourself for growth. All right, Hannah, in your courses, do you talk about how to share your YL products and the best way to generate interaction? 100% yes, absolutely. Go for Gold. That's what it's all about. That's what it's completely all about. And I absolutely love your bracelets. Please tell me about each one. Oh my goodness. Great question. Okay, so you will see a rotation happen with my bracelets. And the rotation is not a daily rotation. It will be over time. I have different bracelets that they weaken up, and then I have to change them out, and then I have to get another bracelet, right? So this one is Apache Tears, which I love. I love Apache Tears. So it's Apache Tears, and then it also has Lava Stone, of course. And that one I picked out on my own. I just love that. This one is an amethyst one that my daughter picked out for me for Christmas. So my 5-year-old picked out bracelets, and now she's got bracelets stacked on her little tiny arm as well. She loves the bracelets too. She also picked this one out for me, and this one is actually not like the other ones. So like which of these is not like the other? This one is a rose gold one, like a Pandora bracelet, and it says mother daughter. And whenever we go on trips, like if Nora has to stay home with grandma or something, the idea is that I wear the mother one and that she wears the daughter one. And whenever I come home, then they go back together again. But while they're gone, we have our little hearts. So there's that. This one is cedar wood. And that one I got with my Apache Tears. These two I love that you asked about my bracelets. I love it. These two so this one's obsidian. This one came from Hawaii and protects against negativity. Any sort of black stone is typically going to do something like that. So this one is black obsidian, and it protects against negativity. I have one, and my husband has one as well. And then this one, these are just little shells. These are just little shells. And I just thought that they were really cute. And I like that they were so tiny. So those are just shells. These are tiger eye. So anybody that loves tiger eye, I like the iridescence look of it. It also has some lava stone in there as well. Tiger eye is good for grounding. And then, of course, it still smells too. Palo Santo. You can't live life without Palo Santo. That's your clear. That's your like clear delete. This is your clear cancel delete bracelet, right? That's your clearing wood. So a lot of people, like Young Living has an oil, a Palo Santo oil. A lot of people will burn Palo Santo to clear space or to clear frequency or energy in space, in their spaces, like their home, not in space. Just kind of like sage, but Palo Santo, I just like the smell of it a lot better. So yeah, that's Palo Santo. So those are my bracelets I have on right now. But sometimes you'll see me wear a green one. I have an aventurine one. I have a jade one. It's whatever made the cut that day. But it's typically these right now. But yeah, I love bracelets. Like I can't go anywhere. If I don't have them on, even when I'm at the gym, like I feel like something's wrong. Like if I'm running at the gym and I don't feel those bracelets doing that thing there, I'm like, oh, there's something missing. There's something missing. Thank you for asking. Hannah, I really want to start blogging, but what is the best way to reach an audience? How do I learn about social media strategy? Woo, that's loaded. So I love answering these questions, by the way. So to start blogging, your very first thing that you need to think about is who are you talking to? Because you need to find out who you're talking to be able to serve that person, right? And typically the person that you're talking to is going to be you of a couple years ago, because to be able to serve, or even a year ago, it makes no difference, but to be able to serve that person that you're blogging to, and to be able to be of value to that person, you have to be a couple steps ahead of them. But hey, you don't need to be like too far ahead of them, because if you're too far ahead of them, you're unattainable. If you're a couple steps ahead of them, then they can still see the tracks in the snow. Does that make sense? Like you are still close enough to where they are that you can understand them in a very real, tangible way. But if you get too far away from them, you're not going to be able to speak to their needs the same way. As much as you wish that you could, you're not going to be able to speak to their needs the same way. You're going to be able to speak to the needs of somebody that's just a couple steps behind you. So that's the very first thing that you need to think about, is who are you talking to? And then aside from that, if you've taken any writing classes, so I love writing. I love sharing stories via written word. Love it. I don't think that I'm a world-class writer by any means. Somebody would look at my writing and be like, that girl uses a lot of periods. She uses a lot of ellipses, right? The 3 dots. I use a lot of those. I'm not a good technical writer, but I write with emotion. And that's what, whenever you're blogging, be very careful that you don't go into the world of technical writing, and that you need to write in a way that people can hear your voice saying it. Okay. So like it needs to be that sort of connection that whenever they read something, they literally, hey, Nancy, they literally hear you saying what you're writing. That means you've got a good, solid connection, and that you're writing really well too, and that you're writing from your heart. Okay. So there is that. So far as social media strategy, how do you learn about social media strategy? Honestly, Hannah, what I would suggest is do Go for Gold, because I've woven in a lot of social media strategy inside that course. And that I would start there, because that's the most relevant place for it. And then from there, you can ask questions about different things, specific questions. How do I do this? What do I do with that? Yada, yada, yada. And we would be able to answer those questions. But the very first thing that I would do is Go for Gold if you're looking for that social strategy, because it's woven in there like crazy. Um, let's see. Stephanie, I am a stay-at-home mom of five. I don't leave my house much. I have been a star, but haven't consistently been a star. How should I go about things? Okay, so when you say go about things, go about growing, I'm assuming. Um, so a stay-at-home mom of five. Do you homeschool your kids or do your kids go to school? Or do you have some that are at home with you? Um, don't leave my house much. I have been a star, but not consistently. I would get go for gold. Honestly, I would get go for gold. The reason why is because it's going to show you what you're not seeing right now. Because there's something that every single person on the planet has value, right? Every single person on the planet can teach something to someone, okay? And has an audience to be able to teach that to. Like there are people out there that want to learn about that thing. Go for Gold is going to help you find your bat signal, is what I call it, which is that thing that attracts people to you. And then it also shows you how to find that thing that you're going to be able to also like that you can elaborate on that other people can't and that other people want to know about. It's going to help you drill down on that. Once you're drilled down on that, the world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want to do. I teach you exactly how to utilize just that tiny thing into blowing your business up in a scalable way, all the way to Royal Crown Diamond. Okay. I would do go for gold. um, Amy, how was Hawaii? Oh my word. Hawaii was the best of times and the best of times. Mike and I want to move back to Hawaii, or we want to move back. Wow, I'm acting like we already live there. That's something, right? We want to move to Hawaii. We have talked about it. We don't. I mean, it's not a front burner thing right now, like a thing that's going to happen right now. But we definitely loved Hawaii. I had no idea. So you know how you watch HGTV and you see like I think it's Caribbean something, I don't know, where people are buying houses in the Caribbean. And I would always skip those shows because I just didn't get it. Because I was like, I don't understand the draw of living on the beach. It just wasn't, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I'm a Colorado mountains girl, right? Like I didn't get the draw of the ocean and the beach until I went to Hawaii. Oh my word. You guys, to be inspired every morning that you wake up, to hear those crazy loud birds in the hotel and to see the sun rise and the sunset, and you guys, the culture. I am somebody that really, really, really enjoys watching people praise their creator. I just enjoy it so much. Like it just feeds my soul. I love it. I love it. I love it. Praise time at church is my favorite time. It's just like it's everybody is in this like this space, right? And we're praising our creator. And the way that they do it there, like the hula and all of the things, like we had this whole show. YL did this whole show for us basically at the luau. There was a luau at the end of it, and it's just great. It's just great. I really liked being around culture that was not so far removed from their origins, right? I walk around here in the US and everything feels very sterile and it feels very staticky and it feels very disconnected, right? And whenever I was there, it felt connected. It felt like this, we're not far removed from the original, the original tribe or whatever it may be, right? There are even things that are said, like you can't take stones or anything with you from Hawaii back anywhere, or else you'll have some sort of curse on you. And like it's legit happened, where people have tried to send the stones back via the mail in order to get rid of like these terrible things that started happening to them. It's just really crazy. But it just was so cool. It was so cool, you guys. Palm trees. I think a coconut fell on somebody. I was taking video of koi fish and I heard a coconut fall, and then I saw this person. I look up and I saw this person kind of do one of these, and I'm pretty sure a coconut fell either on or right next to somebody, and that was funny. But yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous. Hawaii, if you ever have the opportunity to go, take it. Okay. Let's see. Katie Lynn, what is your all-time favorite personal development book? Oh, man. There are so many. Because I literally consume like 3 books a week, right? So personal development. So we would have to talk about what stage, I'm just going to ask you questions about what you mean, right? So we would have to talk about like what stage of personal development, like early on when I was just getting my stuff together, which is what I'm going to answer with, just in case people are in that place. Because as you grow, it niches more into your own skill sets. That's where personal development happens, is like niched into skill sets. So right when I was like getting my stuff together, I think my favorite from early on would have been, oh man, what's the name of it? I can see it, but I can't read it. What is the name of that book? Oh man, I can't remember now. Well, I'll say another one, and then I'll tell you if I remember that one. How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. That one was fantastic. Hey, Mike. What was the name of the book that was on my bedstand forever? Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. I didn't want to read it at first because it felt very get rich quick, and that's not what I'm about. But whenever I started reading it, I realized quickly that that's not what it's about. It's about mindset, and it's about creating a flow of energy that allows things to come to you. And it really breaks that down. So when Napoleon Hill did it, he basically, he followed a bunch of insanely successful people over the course of some time. And then he shared their secrets. He shared the lowest common denominator that they all shared, right? Which is good system making. That's like, okay, so all of these people have been massively successful. What's the thing that they've all done? Right? That's what you really need to know. And that's what he goes over, and he goes over it in a really interesting way. And the book was written a long, long time ago, but the language of it still isn't too difficult to understand. Also, you can grab it on Audible. That makes it a little bit easier. But then also the Dale Carnegie book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's an amazing book as well. And again, the title makes it sound very like, almost like you're using people, but that's not what it's like. That's not at all what it's like. Definitely take the plunge into that one as well. I love that book. Okay. So there we go. You said, what's my favorite? And I gave you 2. Par for the course, right? Stephanie, I love that. So sweet on the mother-daughter bracelet. Yes. Where do you get your bracelets? I get them from all over. So some are from Hawaii. I get them wherever I see them. So locally, there's like a sort of metaphysical shop, and that's where I get my bracelets around here. But I like to get them when we go traveling as well. So I like to check out different shops when we go traveling. Like I said, these 2 are from Hawaii. No, these 3 are from Hawaii. So that's always going to remind me of being in Hawaii. And in my belief, it carries an energy with it, right? So that's that Hawaiian energy that I like a lot. But yeah, others are just from I just get them in different places, and like I said, my daughter gets them. They're all over the place. Thank you. Love that. Yeah. Kim, I work full time and feel the 20 and 30 is going to rock my feet. It will. I just feel overwhelmed right now. Suggestions. Anytime that you ever feel overwhelmed about anything, slow down, take it one step at a time. There's no better advice ever in life. If you ever feel overwhelmed about anything, just take the next step. Don't think about all of the everything that you plan on doing. Take the very next visible step that you need to take, and then do the next thing, and then do the next thing, and then do the next thing. It's just like that. And I know that sounds silly, but that's exactly what you have to do. Whenever I get overwhelmed with anything, all I have to do is break it down into my bites, right? Okay, so I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that, and then all of a sudden it's done. Okay, so like that's, if you get overwhelmed, it's because your mind is trying to like bridge the gaps of all of the unknown, right? When you do things in my systems, you don't have unknown. I'm telling you, okay, look at me, do this. And then I'm like, all right, look at me, now do this. Okay, look at me, do this. Trust me, do this. Trust me, do this. Trust me, do this. That's what, so just don't, I've had people get, the most people that get overwhelmed are the people that watch all the videos and then try to do it. Watch one module. There's a reason I break them up into modules. Very smart reason that I break them up into modules. You do one module, make it happen, do the thing. Next module, make it happen, do the thing. Third module, make it happen, do the thing. So on and so forth. That's how, don't try to watch it all like you're binging on Netflix. Don't try to do all that and then be like, okay, now I'm going to do it. No, you will be paralyzed for life. Okay. What I teach you is massive. What I teach you is stuff that it has taken me over 10 years to learn. Okay. And I'm teaching it to you in a course of 5 days. All right. So do it the way that I say to do it, so you don't completely implode on yourself. Because if you do it the way I say to do it, you're going to be done. And then you can grow. And then you can, just don't paralyze yourself. You're doing it to yourself. Don't do it. All right. Nancy, hello. So glad I got in live. Linda, what encouragement can you give to someone wanting to start making more videos or doing lives? Just do it. If you saw how silly I looked when I first started doing videos, you would be like, all right, yeah, I'm all right. You just get comfortable after a while. You literally just get comfortable after a while, and then you can do whatever. Like I have, I've sneezed on video. I have darn near fallen off a chair on video. My daughter has come in and, raised some heck on some videos. My dog coughed up a hairball on a video once. You start to just be able to roll with it and have fun with it. And the more calm and, just like who cares, the more that you can be like that, the more comfortable the people are watching you. Because like, are you comfortable watching this? But would you be comfortable if I were like, okay, so well, we're gonna do this and da 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 da. It's a little less comfortable, right? So I would say, so the way to practice is to set up a private secret Facebook group. Go ahead and go live into that, and there's nobody else in that group, right? Or somebody has to be. When you set up a group, you have to invite at least one person. So put your husband or a friend or whatever. And then you go live in that group and you just practice. And before I even would go live, I would sort of like talk in the mirror. I find for myself, that I do much better if I have not practiced, I fly by the seat of my pants a lot. So I'm better when I haven't practiced. If I try to rehearse something, it gets all sorts of weird. Um, and you're not truly like you're not being, in my opinion, if you're rehearsing something, it doesn't feel authentic, right? So if you're talking to somebody across the table, you can't just like rehearse an answer. Like you're being authentic with them, right? So like that's how I feel like I am with you guys here. But you can practice in the mirror and then practice in a Facebook group that's closed that nobody else can see other than one other person, that you allow to see that, and then just keep practicing until you feel good. I promise you, it does not take long to start feeling okay about it. I actually started doing, my husband reminded me of this the other day. When I started doing Facebook Lives, it was right when they first came out, but it wasn't for business. It was for flood relief. So we had, here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, there was, we had a big flood, and then there was another flood that looked like it was going to be big, and it was pretty substantial. But we basically, I used this brand new thing called Facebook Live to rally the troops, to let people in Cedar Rapids know, okay, so I was at this sandbag place and I'm like, okay, guys, they just ran out of sandbags. We need to go to another sandbag place. So guys, don't come to the one on this street and this street. Go to the sandbag place at X, Y, and Z because they don't have bags here. Go to another one. Stop bringing your cars here because it's just creating like a problem. I was like air traffic control at for the flood relief, and like sort of mobilizing people. They were just watching lives to see where they needed to go, which was really cool. But that's how I utilized lives, and I kind of broke myself in that way. And I didn't even realize that until recently. But yeah, so just do it over and over and over and over again. And if you're awkward at first, call it out. Call out the elephant in the room. If you're awkward at first, it's totally okay. People understand that, and people are okay with that. Just call it out. Just be like, man, I am feeling a little weird right now, right? Go ahead and say that stuff. Say that stuff. Be honest. Hannah, thank you. Yes, that's what I'm hoping to. Awesome. Stephanie, I have 3 in school. Oh, and 2 that are not old enough for school yet. Yeah, I would still say go for gold. You're going to be able to find that thing that you're able to offer that nobody else is able to offer, and then you're going to be able to run with it, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about when you get in there, and then it's off to the races. So, Nancy, what do you do when you feel deflated when something doesn't go well? Let me think back to the last thing that I thought didn't go well. So what I have, through my life, my very favorite thing to do is to look back on the journey and to see how things worked out. I always like to see kind of how God or our creator, whatever you want to call him, makes things happen out of seemingly distressed situations, right? Like I've had a lot of distressed situations in my life, and out of it has come pure gold. And so whenever situations don't go the way I wanted them to go, here's a microcosm of a situation that doesn't go the way I want it to go, and then my reaction to it. So imagine that you wrote, I think all of us can understand this. Imagine you just wrote this big, long thing, whether it was a thing on your website or it was a social media post or something like that. You went to hit go, and then it like spun and then just deleted the whole thing. So like you just spent however much time on something and then it was just gone, right? So whenever I handle that, because that would be something that went how I didn't want it to go. But the way that I look at those things is, I think, okay, cool. At first, I'm not going to act like there's not a tinge of like, dang it. I do have a tinge of that right at first, right? It's human. And then after that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make it better this time. I was supposed to say it differently. Okay. So I imagine that everything is orchestrated. I imagine that that didn't go through, that post didn't go through because I wasn't saying it right. That I need to make something different and I need to say something different. You guys, every single time that happens, it happens to me a lot. More than I'm kind of embarrassed to say it happens a lot. I've gotten to the point now where sometimes if I remember, I will copy before I hit go. So I have something to paste back in. Like it's happened that many times. But now whenever that has happened, the second time was said so much better than the first. So that's a microcosm of this concept of something that I thought was frustrating for me just needed to be done a different way. Something the way that I expected it to happen wasn't the right way. Just because I expect something to happen a certain way, and that's when we get deflated is expectations, right? Something didn't happen as expected. So I just look at it like, okay, well, something else was supposed to happen because I've got enough to hang my hat on through my life, right? Where it has been things that felt terrible, things that felt awful. And then I've seen them turn into just like these beautiful creations, right? That I couldn't have expected or created on my own. So I just look at things that don't go my way as like, yeah, okay, my way wasn't the right way. Then my way wasn't the right way. So that's how I feel. Excuse me. Was that your first time in Hawaii? Yes, girl, it was. It was. We're sucked into the screens. Yes, ma'am. Heidi, I am disabled and I substitute teach a couple of days a week, but the other days I have no schedule. I signed up for 20 and 30. Awesome. I am a star. How should my days that I am working in my YL business, what should the YL business days look like? Okay. It should look like a lot of messaging in order to get those appointments, right? I'm not going to get too far into it because not everybody's in 20 and 30, so I don't want to confuse them. So it's going to be the messaging, and then it's going to be making sure you get those appointments set up. That's all it consists of. That's all it consists of. And I'm sorry. And then also posting in that lead group. It asks this question in the group. Ask it in the 20 and 30 group, and I can give you more concise answers. Like I said, I don't want to confuse people out here, but ask in the group and I'll give you some more concise answers. Okay, Heidi? Nancy, how to win friends and influence people. Dale Carnegie. Yes. Katie, okay. Think and grow rich. Yes. And there you go. I love that you guys put them in the comments. James, yikes. 2 questions. How was Build-A-Bear? I love Build-A-Bear. Build-A-Bear reminded me of like Disney World. It reminded me of the experience that kids get in Disney World where they're so catered to that their experience is what is being sold, right? Because I always look at things in a marketing aspect. And the bears are great, right? The bears are now part of our family. Nora has a set of twins that one is hearts and one is polka dots, and they're adorable. And she has little barrettes and pins for them. They have necklaces, they have clothes, they have jammies. They're great little twins. But what I love about it most is that she was able to experience so much there. So not only did she get to pick out her bears, but they do so many things to that little heart. They give them a little heart and they do so many things to that heart. Oh, here they are. So this is Hearts right here. She's got a little unicorn dress and a tutu. She doesn't have her jewelry on. Neither of them do. And then here is polka dots. So polka dots and hearts. And hearts has, I don't know if you can hear that. Yes. So she sings she sings Into the Unknown. Um, but the coolest thing is that thank you, Mike. The coolest thing is that they get to well build the bear, right? And the thing with the heart, like there's a little heart that goes inside the bear, and they kiss it, and they put it on their heart, and then they rub it on their legs so the bear can run around and everything, and they rub it on the tummy so the bear doesn't steal their food, and there's like so many things that they do with this little heart, and it was so meaningful that like she's literally holding this little tiny heart in her hands, and she's being so mindful of what's happening to that because it's going to go into her little bear, and it's just like the experience of it that is cool, you guys. Like that was cool. So I am a big fan of Build-A-Bear. And any advice for someone who is guilty of verbal diarrhea? Stop. If you say too many things, so this is advice that my husband actually says, and this is from his early days in graphic design. Was he abides by a rule of that Coco Chanel had, and basically you put everything that you're going to put on, like jewelry and whatever. You put everything that you're going to put on, and then you take one or two things off. Okay. So imagine before you talk, say everything that you were going to say in your mind, and then take a couple things off. There's also another, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with David Wilcock, but he is, oh man, he does a whole lot of stuff, but he's been on the History Channel. He's big into quantum physics. He does a whole lot of stuff. He's a cool guy, but from what I know, I haven't met him, but what one rule that he goes by is to say 10% of what you know, because if you say too much, people just like not ready for it. But it's important. So like whenever you talk about verbal diarrhea, typically where that comes from, so we could talk about this, typically where that comes from is what you want them to know about what you're talking about. Now, what we need to be speaking to is what they want to know about the solution to their problem. What do they want to know? Let's deliver that, because verbal diarrhea comes from a place of, I want you to know all of this stuff. And they're like, what's the answer? What's the, like, if, what would you suggest or whatever? Not like all of the things, just let the one thing be the one thing. Just give answers. So, hopefully that's helpful. Let's see. Kitty Lynn added them both to my list. Awesome. Hannah, what got you into paleo keto lifestyle? I'm trying to figure out what is best for me as I have autoimmune, and I'm into any advice about other people's journeys as they can help my journey. Oh, 100%. So I basically abide by sort of like the AIP, AIP is autoimmune protocol. I abide by that for the most part, just because of the way that we eat. So how I got into paleo keto, I was into keto before I was into paleo. And how I got into that was that we just by nature don't eat gluten, don't eat processed sugar, don't eat a lot of things, because we see them as poisons basically to our bodies. We see them that way, and we don't want to eat them. And we certainly don't eat them because our daughter doesn't eat them. So we don't want to eat things in front of her that we don't want for her to eat. She doesn't have any conditions or anything. And people will say, does she not eat gluten because she's celiac? No, we just believe that mainstream gluten as it is, that it's essentially poison. So we don't want for our baby to be eating it. Same with processed sugar. So we got into paleo because it's whole foods, right? It's basically between paleo. So I eat paleo For the most part, there's little bits that I don't like. I have Quest bars; those are not paleo, but that I think is the only thing. But paleo with a keto filter. So what that means is that I eat whole foods for the most part, besides Quest bars, and then I filter it through being keto, right? So the way that we came about that is because it's a naturally anti-inflammatory style of eating. And what I know about inflammation is that inflammation is the cornerstone of pretty much everything terrible that could potentially happen to your body. You're going to feel bad. You're going to not have a lot of energy. You're going to gain weight. You're going to gain water weight. You're essentially creating an environment that cancer enjoys being in. That's what inflammation does. So you guys, if I can keep my body not inflamed, that's what I'm going to do, right? Because I've got a job to do here, and I've got a 5-year-old, and I've got a husband, and I've got a little family, and we're going to be as happy and healthy and prosperous as humanly possible. So we do have to make those hard decisions, you guys, about not eating those chocolate chip cookies, right? And about not eating that cake that, that birthday cake that, well, just this once. I can't do things just once. That's my personality. I was an alcoholic not way back when, but it was a while ago at this point. I don't drink. I obviously don't do drugs. I don't do anything like that. And it's so I maintain the health of my temple, right? We're making sure that we're healthy people. So we're able to do the job that we're here to do. And we're able to have enough energy and stamina, and the clarity of mind to be able to actually make those things come forth. Because you guys, if I were sluggish and I were tired every day, I wouldn't be able to do probably half of the massive action things that I do. And those things that I do are helping other people propel their businesses forward, which in turn pushes Gary's vision out into the world, right? If I can't do my part of that, I'm doing literally thousands of people a disservice, and I refuse for myself to be the problem there, right? I will serve up everything for you, and then you can take it and you can run. That's my job, right? And in order for me to do my job well, I have to have a clean slate. So that's why we stopped drinking pop too. We're just like, we're done. We're done with all of it. We don't need to play around with pop. So yeah, speaking of, I do need a drink because my throat. But yeah, paleo keto. That's why. But yeah, it'd be great for autoimmune. Paleo is fantastic for autoimmune. Keto is great as well. Here's the deal with keto, though. You need to make sure that you have good functioning kidneys and a good functioning liver as well, okay? Because your liver is going to be forced to produce ketones, not forced in a bad way, but it's going to start producing ketones, which then, start burning fat. And just even the production of the ketones also burns extra fat. But your liver is going to be asked to do that, right? Your kidneys are also a part of that entire process. So if you have a low functioning kidney or low functioning liver, you would need to talk to your doctor ahead of time to make sure that you're okay to do that. If you're not okay to do keto, what I would do is just low carb, which is 50 to 100 grams of carbs a day. So, all right. Katie Lynn, great idea. I'm so going to create a private group to practice. Awesome. Hannah, do you think it's important to both reach an audience on Facebook and Instagram? I prefer and feel a bit more comfortable on Instagram, but it seems that Facebook is the way to reach an audience. You might be saying that because that's the way I reach my audience. Wherever your audience is the best place to reach them. Mine was already on Facebook. So that's where I reach them because they're there and I'm not going to reinvent the wheel and I'm not going to make them do a behavior of going to another social media channel when that's not where they are, right? So I'm going to go to where they are. It's almost like your audience is right here standing around in a crowd and you just go and take your soapbox and you stand up right in front of them. So you need to know where they are. So if your audience is naturally on Instagram, set up your soapbox on Instagram. You're totally good. The community itself. So like if you're creating a community, that's good on Facebook. And Instagram people are actually usually okay to move over to Facebook for community purposes, like just to log into that. Or you can use Get Oiling as your as the site to be able to have, like, they have little membership things in there. Let me give you a thing that gives you 45 days for $1. Hang on just a second. Getoiling.com/Martha. 45 days of Get Oiling for $1. That's so you're able to check it out if you want to. That's where some people that don't use Facebook are creating communities. They're creating them within Get Oiling, which is totally, you can totally absolutely do that. My only thing with social media at all, and I use the heck out of it, right? But my only thing with social media at all is that if your people are following you on social media, that's awesome. You also need to have like their contact info, either in a CRM or something, like maybe you've given them a freebie so you have their email. You need to have their contact info somewhere else as well, because God forbid something happens to one of these social media channels, you would be totally SOL, right? Totally just like, you would be obliterated. You would be done. And so you make sure that you have people's contact info. That's the great thing about freebies, you guys, giving things away for free that are of good value. Don't give crud away for free, but because people don't care about that. But giving things away for free, and then they just give you their email address for it, right? And then you have that, and you're able to reach back out to them if you want to. So that's good stuff. James, my friend Paul says you are good looking. Oh, it's a good day, Paul. I got a shower. James, he's going to kill me now. Kimberly, adorable, love. Kim, what is the best cookbook meal planning that helped you in your weight loss journey? I have multi autoimmune diseases and really need to make a change. There are plenty of paleo cookbooks. You can also online, you can look up, just Google paleo keto recipes. Just look that up and you're going to find a bunch of them, and they are tasty, they are good, and you can eat them without feeling like you're messing something up, right? There's plenty of really tasty recipes out there. Just search paleo keto recipes. I don't have any one cookbook. I am more of a Googler. And I do have cookbooks, but I can't for the life of me remember the name of anything. So I don't know. I don't even know where they are right now. I'm going to be very honest with you. I honestly Google more than anything. And truth be told, my husband makes like cheeseburgers and pork chops and stuff like that. And so we eat a lot of just whole food. So we'll eat those and then add a veggie to it, or, something like that. So a lot of it's just going to be making whole food choices as well. But there definitely are some really good recipes out there as well. I like the Whole30. Oh, Whole30 is excellent. Yeah, same idea. Whole30 is excellent. James, speaking of no pop, my favorite thing is a SodaStream machine, carbonated water, and mix it with Ningxia Red. Ooh, what? James, you just blew my mind. Now I can't talk. Okay, SodaStream. I'm excited. SodaStream. I've seen those things. The stream of soda. With Ningxia Red? Oh my goodness. Okay. This might change my world. You can get those at Target, I think. I'll go look at Target in one of those, but thank you, James. Man, that's great. Hannah, thank you. Kim, thanks. Of course. And I am going to go ahead and call it because we're almost at an hour right now. You guys have an awesome night. Let me go ahead and say who won. Oh, Michelle, sorry if this wasn't already asked. I'll answer that in just a second. Who is the winner? I'm just going to sort of do this. I'm going to go up and down, and I don't know whose name it's going to be on. And here. Katie Lynn Perry. Katie Lynn Perry, you are the winner. So I will be messaging you, ma'am, because I know you. I will be messaging you and asking for your address if I haven't already. I feel like I have before, but anywho. And it was your birthday yesterday, and you just won. This is gonna be fun. Michelle, sorry if this was already asked. I'm a Go for Gold member and bring on the builders. I was planning on doing silver and 90, but how does it differ from 20 and 30? Oh my word. So 20 and 30, do 20 and 30. Silver and 90 are IPAs that bring in leads. 20 and 30 is bringing in 20 builders in 30 days. So you can imagine what bringing in 20 builders is going to do for your business. And then whenever you bring in those 20 builders, you then have something to plug them into so they can duplicate. Okay. So that is like, and then do silver and 90 if you want to. 20 and 30, you 100% want to be doing that. Anybody that can should be doing that right now. Hannah, we have that soda stream too, and it's the best ever. Oh man, I'm excited. Kimberly, so doing that soda stream with Ningxia Red, I'm doing it. I will be doing it. Maybe I'll make a video. You guys want to see a video of me doing soda stream with Ningxia Red? I'll totally do it. Katie Lynn, what? Wow, I'm so grateful. Oh my gosh, of course. Congrats. Angie, unicorn juice is amazing in that bubbly too. Oh, all right. I like what we're doing here. Everybody's saying congrats. Yay. Thank you for doing this, Martha. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love this, you guys. This is, I could do this all day, every day. Totally. But I am going to sign off for now. Such great info, of course. I'm going to sign off for now, and I will see you guys next Sunday. But remember, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications because I go live every single day. But I'm not good about going live at the same time every day because life, right? So if you want to just know when those lives are coming on, just click the bell for notifications and it'll let you know. But all right, you guys, have an awesome Sunday night. Bye-bye.